Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, it's Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 6, Episode 24, title Remember Me as a Time of Day. Air date May 18th, 2009, and the synopsis is
Nathan gets some news about his future on the Chiefs. Peyton gives birth to her and Lucas's baby daughter Sawyer and receives a surprise visit from Karen. Dan is on death's door while Brooke and Victoria prepare to relaunch Bros Over Bros. So Lucas is walking into the hospital carrying Peyton in her bloody wedding dress, and she's put on a gurney and wheeled back into triage. And then Haley wakes up in the middle of the night and sees that Nathan got out of bed. He's at the river court, and he has a bottle of liquor with him and drinks it.
but she doesn't get up and see where he's at.
A call, yeah, something. And then, meanwhile, Lucas watches Payne's blood off his hands in the bathroom. Then we transition to the gallery while he watches Payne having her surgery in the ER, which would never happen in real life.
Okay, that's what's weird. Is why is Lucas, especially the husband, watching? This is emergency surgery. You would never watch in the gallery. The only ones that can actually watch are staff members.
Right.
I don't they would never say, "Oh, as a family member, why don't you just sit here and watch?" What? Yeah, right. What if something goes wrong? Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. But didn't Lucas watch his mom? Remember?
Yeah.
So I guess only in One Tree Hill do they let anybody watch.
Yeah, because that would put more stress on the doctors knowing that their loved one is watching them the whole time, you know?
Right, okay, you do something wrong or the patient dies for a second. Yeah, that's exactly what, they want, because so they can get sued.
Right. And then we see Julian again talk to Victoria at the store, and Dan is looking at its headstone at the cemetery. Is it fixed or is it still messed up? Because I thought I see it scratched again later on. I don't know. It's changing.
So it's not scratched here?
It didn't look like it to me, but I don't know, because I know it was scratched later, so it's like I'm confused. I'm not sure. But yeah, we know that they're not very consistent either way.
I guess I just never paid attention, because I know later when Karen goes to see, or somebody goes to see it, it's scratched, but I don't know. I guess I just never really paid attention here. I guess probably because it was so fast, the scene was so fast, I never really paid attention to it.
And then Brooke gets to the store. Victoria's still there, and she asks if there's any messages, but Victoria says no, nothing that matters.
Yeah, what? Nothing that matters. Okay.
Yep. And then Peyton is still having her operation, or they look like they're prepping her, more likely, while Lucas is still there. And then everybody else joins him: Haley, Nathan, Brooke, Julian.
Yeah, let's just let the whole town in and watch the surgery.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. And then we fast forward to the baby being home and Lucas checking on her in the middle of the night.
Well, because she was crying.
Yeah. And then back at the hospital.
Well, I will say it was so cute, because Lucas is like, "Daddy's here." It was so cute.
Right.
Again, because this is the only time we'll see him as a dad.
Right. So it's been maybe 2 days maybe that we fast forward a bit too.
Probably.
And I'm guessing the baby would at least stay there a day or two until going home. So.
Well, do you know what I also find weird? Is especially because Peyton isn't home, I would think that he would have a little bassinet next to him in his own room, that he could just grab her, because usually, I feel like Peyton would definitely be like this, have the bassinet next to her in bed, so she could be that close to her baby. So it's weird that it's not by Lucas, because he actually has to get up and go into her room and get her.
Right.
So and then that's what was odd to me.
Right. And then back at the hospital, we see Lucas pouring a root beer float or root beer, telling Payne if she keeps selling the root beer, root beer float go to waste, he's gonna have to start drinking them.
Okay, and that's disgusting. Like, so every day he making a root beer float. That's disgusting. Like after a couple days, it's going to, like, even after a day, it's like it's gonna smell, it's gonna rot because of the milk and the like. Okay, yeah, let's just keep it there, looking like you just poured it every single day. Like that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then to say, I'm gonna have to start drinking him. Ew.
Right.
Okay, I dare you to drink it.
And then he tells her to wake up because their daughter's really beautiful, amazing, and she needs them to see.
And she doesn't even have a name.
And
then that's when she wakes up and says, Sawyer.
Sorry, that's a bit later, so I was looking through my notes. Because before we see that, Brooke's outside the hospital and Julian walks up and tells her she needs to go home. But he brought her magazines and a coat and wraps it around her, and he reminds her that she's been awake for the better part of the last 4 days. So that's how long that Payne's been out. And then he knows that when she says she needs to go home, and she said she'd be there when Payne wakes up because she's stubborn, and when he said that she needs to go home. So he knows that Vic is stubborn, and Brooke tells him that he didn't know her, but he says he thinks he does. That's why he brought every fact magazine with him.
That was nice though, because she's like, well, why? And he's like, because I knew you wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice that he, said she needed to, because she does, to like get some rest. But like he knows also she won't. So here you go. I liked that part.
Yeah. And then
at least she's getting that fresh air. Like she's not just in the hospital 24/7. She's at least getting some air outside.
And then at the label, Mia is on the phone saying everything is fine. And then she says to Haley.
This is weird to me. So on the phone, when they asked for Peyton, she said she's not here or whatever, but she'll be back soon. That's the only thing she says on the phone. And my thing is, shouldn't you be taking messages for her, first of all, instead of saying them? Take messages so that maybe Haley can call these people back or something. Like, obviously, people are calling because it's important. Like, the people aren't just calling to call. So, like, I feel like Haley would be calling these people back, because they're not going to wait days if they're important. So to just say, she'll be back. So they're just supposed to call next week? Like, what? Like, that's all she's saying. It's weird. I'm like, take messages so that somebody can call back.
Right.
That's what I thought was weird, was she's not, there's no indication that she is taking any messages for anyone. All she says is she'll be back. But there's no obviously time frame, because you think on the phone you would say when, like, so I can call back then. But because she doesn't say it, you would think you would just take the message so that somebody can call back. It's just odd.
Right. And then Mia sees her, the physical copies of her new album, and that she's painting was there, but just kind of like a parallel to Peyton, because she also saw the physical copies of the Friends with Benefit album that she made with Ellie, but Ellie wasn't there to see it either. Just kind of like that. And then back at the hospital, Lucas, saying he's doing everything with the baby, that she needs her mom, and they're supposed to do this together. And he's just afraid it's going to be the two of them. And then he kisses her hand, and that's when she wakes up. And says what her name is, like we said before. So then Brooke comes into the room, and Payne says that she had told her that if she left, she would disown her. And Brooke says that's true, that she's going to be her second best girl when she meets the new first one.
And it was weird because, like, of Peyton's face. And And it's like, well, you just said her name. So like, she's here.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, because the look on her face is like, what? Like, she's here, but it's like, well, yeah, she's here. Like,
I think she's still coming too, so she's just a little confused. She was out for 4 days. So.
I know, but she woke up saying her name, like, unless she was having like a dream about her.
Yeah, she could have, like half asleep still.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, Brooke leaves to go get the baby, but yet, Karen comes in with the baby. But like Lucas says, like he should get the doctor, and she said, here's the thing. She says, no, I just want it to be you, me, and our daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then Karen walks in with the baby, and then it's like everyone walks in and they're just watching Peyton hold her daughter with Lucas. Like, that's not exactly what she said. I just find it funny. I find it funny that she literally said the only ones she wants there are the three of them. And yet everybody's there. I'm like, that's not what she said, people. Also, like, she just woke up. Give her some space to like literally just be the three of them. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I know you're all excited, like, see her that she woke up, but like, that I just find it rude as like friends to not give her the space. And even Karen, like, that's your daughter-in-law. Like, give her some space. She just woke up and, had major surgery. Just met her daughter. Like, let her have that time with just the three of them. Like you would have done if she would have had a natural birth when she was awake. Like, and like, I just feel like that's so rude. Like, you would have given them time. All of you would have when she had her baby.
Right.
So like, do it right now. That would just be awkward, wouldn't it? To like not give that person space. Like, even if it is your daughter-in-law or your friend or whatever, like, I'll see you when you want me to see you. Like, that's how it should be, not, well, I'll just stand here and watch you.
Right.
It's a little weird to me. Like, she's holding her baby for the first time. That's just memories that that they need, just them.
Right. And then Jamie's doing a handstand when he tells Nathan that when he gets back to Charleston, he should tell him, that he needs to stop shooting so much. But Nathan tells Jamie that he's not going to be there because he's playing for the Clippers now. They called him up.
Yeah, and he says, when's your turn? And Nathan's like, maybe never.
Right.
Which I was happy that he told him, but I don't know. I just feel like how he said it, I was kind of like, okay. Because he's like, maybe never. But I guess that's always, Nathan's tone, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but Jamie just said it's okay because at least he's, still a chief. And then we transition to Brooke looking at a picture of the house. It's a postcard from Sam saying, wish you were here, love Sam. And then she shows Julian Sam's new house, the one with the white fence. And even he says he misses Sam too. The Brooke asks Julian if he's going to go back to LA now that, Payne's out of the woods. And he says he is because he's prepping for a new movie. And then he says it's about boy meets girl, boy leads girl, and then tells Brooke it was great. He just spend time with her.
Well, I will say when Brooke says like, like, I forgot to even ask about the movie, but it's like, well, why would you when, your best friend was in the hospital? Like, nobody would think like, of course you should be asking about the movie that I'm doing. Like, what? No, like, that'd be the farthest thing from your mind. Also, isn't it weird how it like started, how like, and she's like, oh, asking her mom like about anything, and of course it was Julian, remember, because he was talking to Victoria, and then all of a sudden he's there at the hospital, and he never brings it up, like, this whole time he never brings it up, like, even now when Peyton's okay, like, he never brings it up, like, hey, I went to see you at your store.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like that's something that you would say to somebody to like see too. Like, did your mom give you the message? Because, clearly she didn't, but like, I don't know.
What message?
Well, remember he went to the store and
Mhm.
he asked Victoria if Brooke was there. She said no or whatever. And he said, like, tell her to call me or whatever.
Mm.
And then when Brooke comes to the store, she says that, any messages or any, and
Mhm.
she
Oh
just
yeah,
said,
yeah.
so,
Mhm.
but then when Julian sees her at the hospital, and then even now that Brooke's mind is, coming back to reality, like,
Mhm.
you know, he doesn't even say anything. Like, I went to see, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sort of left there. Like, the scene with Victoria is definitely different now. Like, there's no indication that he met Victoria
Mhm.
or talked to her or anything. Because then Brooke could go back at her mom, like, you didn't tell me, you talked to him or anything. Like, again, Brooke is just sort of in the dark of this.
Well, I guess it's just because that he saw Brooke now, so he doesn't need her to call him because she knows what's going on with him. He knows what's going on with her. And he probably just wanted to keep that conversation, between him and Victoria just to make sure she acts right and just tries to keep, in this way, Victoria at a distance from Brooke to not mess with her anymore. At least about him.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
And then they hug and take in a moment, then they kiss. And then they end up on her bed and he tells her he loves her and she tells him not to say that, just kiss her. And then meanwhile, everybody's at home. Payne is in the nursery now with Sawyer. Karen, offers to take care of her so Payne can get some rest. But Payne says no. She wants to hold Sawyer forever. And then thanks Karen for the way she raised Lucas and the man she taught him to be.
I will say when she tells Karen, like, no, like, she wants to hold her forever, like, of course you do. You just got out of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously for the whole time you were pregnant, or at least when you found out there was something wrong, you imagined your life either not being here or you not having her,
Mm-hmm.
because either life could have died or both. So, like, remember, she dreaded that for the longest time. So, like, yeah, of course it'd be like, no, I just want her all to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she at that point, she probably didn't even let Lucas hold her just because she wanted to,
Right.
which is so understandable.
Mm-hmm. And then at the station, Millie tells Mel she doesn't want to go back to New York. And he tells her that he doesn't want her to go either. And Millie says maybe she'll talk to Brooke and tell her that she doesn't want to go back. And then Karen sits with Lucas on the front steps like they have many times before. And she says she remembers seeing on the steps talking to him about joining the Ravens, way back in season 1. And it feels like yesterday.
And
And then,
no, yeah, that was funny.
yeah. And then Karen lets him know that Lily wrote him a letter. And he's shocked that she's writing already because she should be 6 now-ish,
Yeah,
right?
6. Yeah, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lucas and Peyton weren't even together at Jamie's 5th birthday. And now
Mm-hmm.
that she had a baby, yeah, he'd definitely be 6.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because, like, he's like, wasn't she just born 4 days ago? And Karen's like, no, that was your daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, calling him dad.
Then
He's like, whatever.
then he says
Yeah.
Grandma Karen, and she's like, oh.
Yeah, so like Deb, she doesn't like being called grandma right now.
Also, she didn't realize the whole time Peyton was pregnant, she was going to be a grandma.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't register.
Maybe she forgot since she's never there. I don't know. And
Maybe
then
she
I mean
forgot.
we don't even see Andy again, right? Or
Who?
Lily for that matter. Andy? Oh yeah,
I
let's see. Of course we don't, yeah.
I don't think from here on we see Karen.
Yeah, I forgot because Lucas leaves, that's why. But yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been nice if Andy and Lily showed up one last time here.
Yep.
And then it would make sense with everything going on with Payne and the baby. But or Karen could have said too that she didn't want Lily to be around the crisis, so Andy kept her or something like that. That could have been a good explanation. And he tells her that he knows she can't stay, but he wants to say thank you because she helped him through all of it, and she was selfless and strong. So if he's half the parent she was, then Sawyer's gonna be fine. And Karen tells him she's going to be more than just fine. And Lucas brings up the time shows to him that, to see the magic in the walls. And he takes the postcard from Lily and waves his hand up and down, making it disappear and then reappear. So now he's into close-up magic all of a sudden. And he says it's so desperately magic. And then Brooke wakes up with Julian gone, of course. And then Nathan walks into the locker room to see a space has been cleared out. And a guy tells him Bobby wants to talk to him. And he asks, where his stuff is. And the guy just repeats that Bobby just wants to see him. And then later, Nathan gets home. And Haley asks if he's going home so early. He asks if she remembers the green dress that she wore for that school for Jamie. And she says she remembers, and he says that she looks amazing in that dress because he was seeing her make it to the trip to Charlotte, and she could wear it and make it to Jamie.
Yeah, and she says what happened, and then he said he's not on the Chiefs anymore, and then he tells her that he is an NBA.
Mm-hmm. And it takes her a second to fully, process it because they've been waiting for this moment for years.
Well, I mean, I will say how he was going around this. It was what would a dress? Yeah, what would my dress and taking Jamie to what would all that have to do with anything? Just say it.
Yeah. And then, she starts crying happy tears and they hug. And he tells her thank you for believing in him. And she tells him thank you for being worth it. And then Dan goes to see Whitey at his ranch. This is the first time we've seen Whitey out here, is it? Or
I think so.
I'm forgetting already.
Yeah. Because the last time I saw him wasn't it when he was coaching the Ravens?
Maybe, yeah. I thought maybe we saw him
season 5. Or not the Ravens, the college team.
Oh yeah, the college, yeah.
Because then he gave it to Lucas. So I would say season 5 was last time.
Right, yeah. So of course Dan Whitey doesn't want to hear Dan at first, but Dan pleads for him to hear him out. And then inside, Whitey puts down a mug for something to drink, plate of cookies, and his pistol. Dan says he assumes the gun is loaded, and Whitey says he bought the gun hoping to see his face again. He'll say he broke in and attacked him, and Dan tells him he'd be doing him a favor. But Whitey tells him he looks like a haunted man. We've heard he has a heart problem. It's not surprising. He always had a heart problem. And Dan says he wishes he could go back to the state championship. And when he looks back at his life, he see where it went wrong. That's where it always ends up. Fourth quarter.
Do you know what I find so weird? Since we've met, this isn't even because of since Keith. This has been going on since the show started. Dan has always been reliving those moments in high school. He has never gone past those years. So It's not even he's reflecting to why he killed Keith. It's always been dated back to living his high school years through Nathan. It's always been like that. So for him to be I think this is where I went wrong. No, you've always been obsessed over this. It's so weird. Live in today. Yes, you can sit there and talk to your friends and stuff about our high school days, but you also should be talking about what's happening today. Live in the moment today, but you can still talk about the past. But just the fact that you've never gotten over those high school days is bad and sad and everything. What?
Yeah, it's been more than 20 years now.
Yeah, it's so long. Get over it.
Right. And then, Dan just apologizes to Whitey about the game and then what he did, to Keith and everybody who loves him. And Whitey asks Dan if he ever loved Keith, and Dan just says no. And then Brooke calls Sam, so at least we got a little bit of a return from her, even just like this. And she tells her everything's fine. She's just thinking about her and wondering how her life is. She asks Sam if she's happy, and then they go to the station where Mouth finds out that Nathan got caught up to the NBA and yells a sudden woo and startling the man, saying, "I never guessed." He's so happy. And then Nathan tells Jamie the sports report is on next, but Jamie wants to just play his little game, and he says he has Wi-Fi on his phone. Apparently he has a phone.
Cynthia.
What?
Okay, when I was watching this, I wondered why that one guy, the assistant guy, in the basketball locker room.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered why he looked so familiar. I just looked it up. He is the officer in season 9. The bad one that Haley
Yeah,
goes
the
to
one
see.
that they didn't care about Nathan missing.
Yeah, remember? Because he was in on the whole kidnapping.
Oh, I forgot that part.
I was like, wait a minute. He was in Nathan's storyline in season 6 as this guy. And then he goes in a couple seasons later to be that jerk officer.
I mean, they could have played a whole plot there. They could have said that maybe he was jealous of Nathan and how well he played, that, he wanted his life or something. They could have done something like that. That's why he did what he did. But,
Right. I'm like, what? This is weird. He played 2 different characters.
Yeah, I mean, but that does happen in a lot of shows. So
I know, but at least in this show, it hasn't really happened too often, I would say.
yeah.
Like some, yeah, they're like, yeah, you got to play like 3 different characters, but like,
Right.
not this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like on Gilmore Girls, I believe the actor who played Kirk was like in one episode as one person, and then the next episode he was Kirk, and then Kirk from now on after that. So
Yeah, but also because this guy, like, there's certain people like on shows, especially this one, that they stand out because you remember those scenes. So when I saw him, I was like, he looks so familiar. I look it up. Oh, that's why he was the officer that we all remember. Like, you can't really use people like that.
right.
Like, if they're going to be standout ones like that. Okay.
Well, I didn't remember his face, but Haley tells Jamie to come watch the news with them. And then Mouth begins to talk leading up to the announcement that Nathan is now in the NBA, and Jamie wasn't paying attention until he heard former Tree Hill Raven. He puts his game down, staring at the TV, and Mouth tells Jamie to hug his dad for all of them because he just made it to the NBA. They couldn't be more proud. And Jamie, slowly turns around and bursts with happiness for Nathan, saying he knew he could do it, and jumps into Nathan's arms, which was a great moment. And then, meanwhile, Karen and Lucas visit Keith's grave. Then this is where we definitely see Dan's headstone picture messed up.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the scene that I remember that it was messed up, not the one before.
Mm-hmm. And then Dan, this is Dan again. Right on his headstone, it says he was supposed to be dead months ago. He used to wonder why he's still alive, then realize he's not. He's dead, and this is his hell. And he loads the handgun and says Lucas got married and has a baby girl now. And of course, he's not part of that. And Nathan has Jamie. He gets to see the happiest moments of their lives, but, not feel them.
Okay, so, he's talking to Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing is before Whitey can even say anything and he's going off about like Lucas having a kid, I'm like, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
It surely isn't the boy's fault that you were not in their lives and you aren't, getting to be a part of these grandkids. It's your fault.
Yeah, why are you covering that too? Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, really, Dan? You're really gonna basically blame what, the boys for what? Protecting their children,
right?
And their own insanity, like like that they don't want to be like you. Like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's no one's fault. It's not their mother's fault. It's not anything like that. Like, you got to blame yourself why you're not in their lives and you can only watch from the outside. It was so stupid.
Right. And then we have the trigger warning of Dan basically, telling Wyatt to kill him with the gun pointing at himself.
And he said, maybe you're here for redemption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some redemption. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I mean, I do, but it just doesn't seem like it's possible.
Yeah, like, again, where's this heart?
And Wyatt says to Dan there's still time, even though he really should have been dead months ago. And then Nathan gets there and tells Dan he showed up to tell his coach he made it to the NBA. And Dan has to watch Nathan walk inside Whitey's house to give him the good news while he just happened to learn about it by accident.
That was funny, though, because, like, Nathan's like, I'm here to tell my coach that I made it. I'm like, ooh, such a nice burn. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love how Nathan has that relationship with Whitey that he can tell him and he wants to tell him, like, besides, Haley and Jamie, like that's the first person he wants to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I don't even think Lucas knows.
Right, yeah. And then at the label, Chase says that the track is awesome and it drops tomorrow night. And Mia has a signing in New York City, and then she goes on tour for a couple of months. So Chase tells her that he knows the record's going to blow up and she needs to know part of him wants to be selfish with her, but he's not going to be that way because the rest of the world deserves to see her greatness too. And Mia tells Chase her heart's not going anywhere, she promises. And then Millie walks into the store where Brooke is playing Mia's new record.
Yeah, how does she have that? Would she go to the record label and take one?
Yeah, or maybe Mia could have just went around and gave them to, Brooke. Well, of course he doesn't have one, but just to them because they're her close friends there. And yeah, so Brooke just tells Millie that Mia's having that signing too. Maybe she should go if she wasn't going to be going to Tree Hill instead. And she tells Millie the store is going to be back up and running soon, and she needs her there to run it.
Yeah, it was funny when Millie's like, "Well, don't you need me in New York?" And she goes, "Your boy is here. Like, this is where you need to be." And I was happy that she said that because, Brooke is staying true to herself and not become Victoria of, no, the business is more important than you.
Mm-hmm. And then we see that quote again from the beginning of season 5, still hung up. And then Peyton is sitting on the front porch with Sawyer when Dan walks up. So she asks, what does he want? And she holds the baby closer to her, of course. And he asks to hold Sawyer, and Peyton tells him no at first. And she was about to go inside, but Dan asks why.
Yeah, so she says, why? And he said, she's the only one in his world that doesn't know what he's done. I'm like, what? And Peyton's responsible for that? Like,
right.
So you're guilting her? Like, no. Also, this is what I'm saying. Like, why would Peyton let him hold the baby? Like, come on now. Lucas would never want that to happen.
Right.
Why isn't she thinking of that? Like, hello, Lucas, the father? Like,
yeah.
Oh. And then for her to grow up, and if she ever heard, like, Dan held her, she'd be like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? Like, think if, like, you were held by a murderer, you'd be like, I was what?
Right. And
it was weird.
Yeah, she should still remember too that Dan tried to choke Lucas to death that one time in the gym.
He choked. He pushed Peyton.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
remember?
That wasn't on the episode, but yeah.
Because he choked Lucas, and then Peyton was trying to get him to stop, so he pushed her head.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
So he attacked both of them.
Yeah. So yeah, he should know that if he can do that to his own son, who knows what he could do to his grandchildren as well. So
right, like I get maybe he hasn't done it to Jamie, but like, why would Peyton of all people, to let that happen? Like for Haley again, she's in a different situation because he treats Nathan a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And Nathan is still allowing Dan in his life, where Lucas has already cut him out. He cut him out a long time ago. So like, why would Peyton be like, sure?
Right.
So weird. And then when he quotes whatever, and then she's like, give me my baby back.
Yeah.
It was funny. The look on her face.
Yeah, they bonded over that for a second, in that book. And he tells her that he knows that he's gonna have to tell Sawyer what he did, and doubt him someday, and he's sorry for that.
And then it was fun. And then, and here's the thing, like then like Karen and Lucas are walking up. And like how does Lucas not realize that Dan was holding his baby?
Right, yeah.
I just wanted him to punch him like one last time for the show. Let's have Lucas punch somebody.
Right, yeah, because he was walking away already at that point, so Lucas didn't see him hold Sawyer. Yeah, and they like look at each other for a moment and they just keep walking without saying a word. And then we see Mia and Chase together, and at the station, Millie asks him out, how would he like his old roommate back? Being her, so he's happy to hear she's moving back. And then Lucas pulls up in the front of the house with the comment where Peyton is still on the front porch. And then at the store, it's quiet, so it seems like she cares, even though the Victoria, asking Brooke to tell her about Julian, what kind of man he is. And Brooke says the kind who's gone, because she's, all sad about it.
I love how all of a sudden Victoria's like, I want to know.
Right.
Obviously, because Julian was,
Yeah.
standing up to her, kind of like
Mhm.
Sam was.
Yeah.
And she's like, I guess I should change.
hmm
So Julian changed Victoria.
I guess like Sam did, yeah. And then I like this moment we see Nathan at the cemetery and he tells Q he made it, so like he didn't forget about him,
Not
And
yet.
yeah, well,
Next season.
right.
I don't think
Yeah.
Q is ever heard of for the rest of the series, maybe.
Probably, yeah. And it becomes like a brand new show, so it kind of makes sense too.
But
And
not
then
really. They should still bring him up at least.
yeah, I know. I think because like Sam's not involved either, and they kind of like their plots kind of intercross with each other for a second there too. So like now that Sam's fully off the show, like it's like the whole uh Haley's students are completely done because she's not even teaching anymore either. So yeah, it makes sense that they would move on with that. But he tells him he misses him and that he was right. It is a comeback, and he thanks him. And then we see that Nathan left a Bobcats jersey with a number 12 on it. So was that Nathan's number or was that Q's number or something?
No, 12 was Jamie's.
Okay, so that was like Jamie's jersey.
Well, Jamie told Nathan when he started on the Chiefs that he wanted him to wear the number 12. And so then he has Bobby for the number 12. So then he was always wearing 12. And then now I guess they're just now all of a sudden he's on the NBA team and they're just giving him the number he wants. Like what?
Right.
Like
so Nathan left the jersey as like a parting gift to Q in a way.
I guess I'll thank you
like,
for helping me get this far.
It seems that way, yeah. But I don't, that's not to say that forever someone's going to pick it up
and take it.
Yeah, basically. So maybe he should have left something else. I don't know, but that jersey probably could have been worth some money too later on since he joined the NBA. But Brooke goes to Lucas and Peyton's house. He had to take Karen to the airport, so Brooke tells Peyton that she's really beautiful. Sawyer's really beautiful, and Peyton jokes that she kind of likes her, and Brooke asks, how does it feel to have a family? She has this whole other life to look after now.
And I love how she said it's like how she dreamed it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And then so Brooke called Sawyer and she's like, hi Sawyer, I'm Aunt Brooke and I'm gonna spoil you. And it was funny because then that's when Peyton says Sawyer Brooke Scott. And she's like, really? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cute. And I love how, we now know what her middle name is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, on some shows, they don't tell you what the kid's middle name is.
Yeah.
So,
did you watch Baby Daddy?
No.
Okay, well, that was canceled too short because the last episode, one of the main girls, going in young woman, but anyway, she had a baby, but they never said what the baby's name was, and then the show was done. So like,
what?
Yeah, it made me so mad out of all shows to be canceled, at this time. I don't know why. They probably planned another season, of course, but yeah, that's how that show ended. I was so mad. But
I'm trying to think if there is a show that they didn't say the baby's name. I want to say there is. I want to say that there's a show that doesn't tell you. And it's like one of those where at least I want to know the baby's name.
Right.
Oh. Isn't it Parenthood?
I can't remember.
When Amber has she's holding a baby and it's like, what's the baby's name? But because it's in a song, they don't actually speak. So you don't hear what the baby's name is. Or no, that one's baby Zeke. No, I think it's Julia then that has that baby. She adopts or something and we don't know the baby's name.
Oh, yeah, I barely remember that show because I saw it once 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, also on Seventh Heaven, 2 of the siblings are off the show. And then they come back and say oh, You know, Matt has twins and Mary has twins, but they never say the twins' names.
Mm.
And it's weird because, like, you know, when you watch the show, you are invested in Matt and Mary, and then all of a sudden you're not told what their children's name are. Like, I get that they're not on the show, so you know, you're never gonna see these babies, but at least like keep it in the line of they have children, like what are their names? So fans can put together the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we watch them get married and stuff. So like, why wouldn't you want to finish their family picture in your head of like, these are the children?
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. But I do feel like there is a show that they end and there's no name. I feel like there is. I just can't think of it.
Mm-hmm. And second closest thing I can think of that's similar to that is the end of Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life, where Rory told Lorelai that she's pregnant, and we don't really see Lorelai's reaction besides for what. So yeah.
Also, I feel like that's a little strange because Rory's like 32 years old.
Yeah, I think it's just
she's well into old enough to have a child. So I don't know what the what is, because like she ain't 16. She can have a child.
Yeah, but it was really just because she'd been so long without being a mother, and then where her life was, you know, just getting her book off the ground, and you know, just not really being fully stable. That's why she was like, what? And then she's not with anybody either, you know.
But she was. In her own way, she was.
In an affair with Logan?
Yeah, exactly. His name's Logan.
Yeah, but we don't know what happened after that. If he
all you have to do is sleep together once and you can become pregnant. Lorelai should know that.
Right, but I don't think she even oh no, that's when she did find out later at the end, but yeah, she was just still shocked. Yeah.
That's why for me there is only one answer.
Mm-hmm.
Logan.
Right. Yeah, so but it is kind of something that Sawyer's middle name is Brooke, just because now in a way Brooke's name is Scott, like Brooke Scott, like how she probably imagined in high school, like being, you know, with that name and in this kind of different way she is. So that's, you know, kind of something.
I didn't really think of that. You know what I thought of?
Hmm.
The fact that it's Lucas's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, that
like,
too, yeah.
Like my daughter has my ex-girlfriend's name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that just happens a lot with the crisscrossing and treating basically significant others with everybody else.
Well, I can tell you that if Joey and Pacey had a kid, the kid's middle name would not be Dawson.
Right. Yeah, so Payne says, you know, this is obviously she dreamed, and she asks Brooke what about her dreams. So then later we see Brooke in the store where Victoria tells her she's going back to New York, and the designs are excellent, the new line should stabilize the company. There's nothing left for her to do there, but there are a few things she needs to leave her with. So just to call the publicist, arrange interviews, all that stuff about, you know, starting the company again. And then she needs to go to LA and tell Julian she loves him, which was a twist. So she tells Brooke, you know, when she was young, there was a boy who loved her. And
I know this was so crazy when she said that whole thing, and I was like, whoa. And that, you know, her parents didn't want them together and all this. And I was like, wow. Oh, Victoria actually, wait a minute. Victoria cared about somebody in her life.
Right.
What? That's odd. So now we're getting that Victoria's parents were a lot like Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to dictate how you're going to be. Mm-hmm. And I guess, because I thought she married him because maybe she didn't want to live like, you know, a regular, I don't want to say poor, but like where you have to get a job.
Right.
But I didn't realize she came from money.
Right.
I thought maybe Brooke's dad may have come from money, but I didn't think that Victoria came from money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe she just married Brooke's dad because that's the kind of guy that her parents expected her to be with. So.
Well, I guess that's where we're going with this, is that because that boy that she couldn't be with wasn't like them. Mm-hmm. So she married somebody that was, and obviously it's not the love of her life. Because apparently this boy is.
Yeah.
I wish we would have gotten to like see him. like in the future. Like clearly there was somebody that she loved. Like, why can't we find out what the heck he's up to?
Yeah, they could have brought him in because she has, more kind of relationships later on. Yeah.
Like if she, like maybe she had like she was sneaking around and then you found out it was him or something. Like just something. I don't know.
Yeah, and this definitely reminded me of the Notebook when same scenario. Allie's mom gave her the same story. She loved a guy that wasn't, what her parents wanted, so she let him go as well. So same story here, but yeah, but Victoria actually admits that she was a terrible mother because she has a daughter who is strong, bright, kind-hearted, and beautiful, and she really broke her with her inability to open her heart. Because she hasn't broken her, she's just as strong and beautiful and kind-hearted as ever, and she just simply misnamed the company.
Yeah, so she gave Brooke the company back, and she said she'd rather have a daughter than a company.
Yeah,
and then Brooke said, "But you love the company," and she said, "Yeah, but I was wrong. I should have loved you more." And I was like, "Okay, but again, you said I should have loved you more, but shouldn't also be like, so I'm I don't know, like something of how she's trying to start over." I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I was like, okay, so you don't love her? I mean, obviously you do because you're giving her the company, but like, okay.
Yeah, she says that if Julian loves her and she loves him, that's all that matters, and the clothes can wait, which is surprising for her to hear because it's always the other way around. And then Brooke tells Victoria she wants her to stay on and run things from New York. And Victoria's shocked to hear this, not that she's fired. So Brooke tells her that she's good at what she does and says she's the mother, and she gets emotional. So Victoria hugs her and says, my daughter. And she loves her so much and she's so proud of her. And then Millie shows up at the station and she says she wanted to watch her boy work. And he says he likes being her boy. He says she likes it too. Then tells him Skills Twitter the guys are going to watch the game. So she wants to join them. And Millie agrees. And Monk just says he loves his life. And then he starts his segment by saying a full slate in NBA kicks off tonight with the Charlotte Bobcats, and who caught up Nathan Scott. And then we see Nathan, who and Jamie look at the gym that he's going to be playing in now. And Malcolm and Haley narrate. Nathan tells Nathan that he made it, and he says they made it. And then Dan is at the river court, and he narrates. And then even Mia narrates while she's at her CD signing. And even Chase shows up to get her signature on a CD. And he tells her to sign it with thanks for the 45 seconds in heaven, and Mia says 30. Joking. And Chase asks her to wait for him, and she says she will. And then he sees she signed her name on the copy of her CD with that she loves him, a fine mess, and Chase narrates as well, so everybody is. Nathan is introduced at the game. He walks on the court.
Oh, and all of a sudden he's starting too. Not only is he on the team, but he's starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Lucas is playing with Sawyer, and Peyton walks up to watch them. She narrates. Julian is on the set in LA, and that's when Brooke shows up, and she says he told her that Sunday she'd be ready to let someone in, and she thinks today might be Sunday. And Julian narrates, and he tells Brooke if this was a movie, she'd kiss him right now. And Brooke says no. She said she would say that she loves him and then kiss him, and then he does exactly that. And then the lights of the trees turn on in that moment, and then she narrates last. And then we see the final scene with Lucas, Payne, and Sawyer in the comet. And Lucas asks Payne if she'll take a ride with him, and he said that Payne and Sawyer, he says Payne and Sawyer, she corrects him to Payne and Scott. And then Sawyer just smiles in the back seat.
And okay, and it was so cute. Okay, so even though like it wasn't like a big kiss, it was still just it was just still so perfect, like them just riding in the sunset. Like we think they're just going around the block, but like it's basically them riding into the sunset because they're not coming back. But like I think how they ended Lucas and Peyton is just so damn adorable. I love it. Also, okay, so this is the thing, is if the show would have ended right here, don't you see the difference between Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill? They fully developed each character on One Tree Hill. Like 6 seasons, both of them had 6 seasons. If we end it right here we have watched characters fall in love, get married, have kids, watch them succeed at whatever their dream was. We didn't get to see that. We didn't even know what Joey did until the last episode. Remember, we're like, what is she even going to school for? It was so weird. We didn't know what these people did until the very end, the last minute. And it was like, what?
Yeah.
So weird. And we only did it into a flashback of, oh, this is where they are 5 seconds later. Like, what? Like, it's so weird. This is what I'm saying is, you mean to tell me in 6 seasons you could not have developed characters? It's odd to me. Like, the only person they ever truly developed was Dawson, because he was a movie lover. That was it. Otherwise, the other ones were just sort of there. They didn't develop anybody. And that's why I'm saying, the difference between the two, if you cut it off right here, they still have fully developed lives that we could still be cheering on and everything. And we know so much about them in the past 6 years, where, no, since Greg, you really didn't know much.
Right.
We always questioned it. And that's why I love One Tree Hill so much better, because you know exactly who everybody is.
Yeah, so this could have been the perfect series finale as well if they didn't continue on after this.
Yeah, because Nathan made it to the NBA. Him, Haley, and Jamie are all happy. Lucas, Peyton, and Sawyer are all happy. Brooke finally said, I love you to Julian. They're clearly together. Yeah, everybody is, Mouth and Millie are together. Everybody is sort of where they should be in the end.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't see was more of the skills and what he's doing. But yeah, besides everybody, he's good. And then, so Payne and Lucas are the last ones to narrate in this episode, which I think was fitting. And then we get a view of the river court. Do you think that was as a way to close a chapter of Lucas, but also that part of the show where they always went back to the river court? Because did they go back to the river court later on after this?
Yes.
Okay, because I thought maybe, I can't remember, maybe they were done with the river court as well, since Lucas
I think maybe the kids go, but I do know that they have that one episode where they're saving the river court. And I know in the final episode, they do showcase the river court, because Nathan's playing on it and he goes to visit, and then Brooke and Haley are sitting on the bench. And so I do know that they sometimes go to the river court, but I don't think it's a staple at this point.
Didn't they have that burning boat thing again too?
Yep, in the finale or in the final season,
Yeah, so they did go back to it, but
which is stupid, because they should have, wasn't it an every year thing?
Yeah, and then
not
5 years later or more. Yeah,
I feel like it should have been every 10 years, then we'd be gotcha.
Yeah.
So for me, the high of episode was everybody getting what they want in the end. I love that part. I love everybody's ending. If we, just ending the season too. It's where it should be. It was the perfect ending to a season.
Yeah.
Also, did you realize that there was no cliffhanger?
Right. Yeah.
Most seasons have cliffhangers.
That could have been a great series finale because of that too. Yeah.
Do you wonder why they did it that way? There's no question of what is happening. I could honestly keep just not have watched season 7. I know some people probably didn't, but
and they probably thought it was done.
Yeah, you didn't need another season, because here there was no cliffhanger of questions.
Right. But when they filmed this episode, they very well knew that they were going to have another season. So
I know, because they only hired everybody else but the other two. So
yeah.
So I love how that happened. That there was no questions. It was perfect. And the low, Dan still not taking accountability for himself and what happened. He's still blaming everyone else, by saying, They have their lives. Why can't I be a part of it? Look in the mirror. Like after all this time, you're still not blaming yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So annoying. So that part, no. I also I did love that they brought Karen back though.
Right. Yeah, mine's the same too. But I also just remembered, like, we didn't see Deb and what she's doing, ever since she ended things with Spills.
She moved away.
Yeah, I just wish they would explain her disappearance.
Yeah.
And we skipped rating, didn't we?
No. We always do high and low first.
Right. So rating?
10. Perfect 10 for me.
Yeah, me too.
And then who is your best and worst?
I put the best is Victoria, just because she finally did the right thing and listened to Julian and actually be kind to Brooke and tell her all the words Brooke's been wanting for her to hear, and then actually tell her, like, we'll give her back the company fully, and then tell her that, if she loves Julian, she should go get him, the company can wait. So she was basically saying the complete opposite of all the things she's been saying for years, since they started this thing, and finally came around. Though I can't remember if they're still on good terms after this. I feel like doesn't Victoria do something that gets into trouble and then they kind of argue again?
Yeah, she goes to prison, remember?
Yeah, like fraud or something, yeah.
Yeah, I think she was stealing from people.
Yeah, so as of right now, they're good. And then the worst is Dan, because, like you said, complaining about how he's not part of his son's lives when it was his fault in the first place that he's not and all that, so, yeah.
For me, yeah, the worst was Dan for those same reasons. And then I picked the best was Peyton. Because I love that she had all these like nice scenes. I know, I just love it. I love the ending. Also, because clearly she wasn't making anybody happy by not waking up. So I was happy that she woke up, because then everybody was all happy again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have been torturous if like she never woke up.
Right.
If like they ended it just she died. Like, everybody would be such a wreck. Like, Lucas would probably resent Sawyer. Like, so yes, I was happy that she woke up. Because again, all these people that love her were able to move on and be happy in their lives.
Yeah, so the least that the writers could have done for them, Payne, especially because she went through hell so many times in these 6 seasons, is give her a happy ending. So
exactly. So she was definitely, I think, the best. And then for me, I would rate overall of season 6. I would actually give this season 6 a 10, because there were a lot of highs in season 6. There was a lot of things that there wasn't too much of questioning. It was, I feel like it was definitely a happier season.
Yeah.
So I think that they did season 6 very well. Again, there was a full circle. Everybody got what they wanted in the end of season 6. So I would say a great season 6, 10.
Right.
What about you?
Yeah, I'd say 10 too. It was rough at the beginning, but they finally, found all their happy endings. Yeah, finally.
And then for me, my favorite episode was probably when they were making the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Or when they were casting the movie, because it was very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And also my second was Lucas and Peyton actually getting married.
Right.
Those would be my 2. What about you?
Yeah, I think the wedding episode would be my favorite. I don't know about the second one though. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then what is the next episode?
Season 7, episode 1, 4:30 a.m. Apparently they were traveling aboard.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like maybe Lucas and Peyton will be coming back, but we know they're not.
Nope. All right. fresh new show.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.